They will tell you that showing weakness makes you human, that it earns you compassion, that it builds connection. But Machiavelli knew a truth so dark and so brutal that most men refuse to face it. Weakness does not invite compassion, it invites attack. Weakness does not build trust, it builds opportunity for betrayal. Weakness does not protect you, it destroys you, and history bleeds with the names of rulers, kings, generals, and leaders who believed that mercy, vulnerability, and fragility would win them loyalty, only to discover that the world devours weakness with hunger and never forgives it, because human nature is selfish, opportunistic, and ruthless, and the moment you show weakness, you are already preparing your own downfall. Machiavelli taught that power is not maintained by love or kindness, but by strength, fear, and control, and the moment you let people believe you can be bent, they will break you. The moment you let them see hesitation, they will exploit it. The moment you let them sense doubt, they will turn against you because people admire strength. They obey strength. They fear strength, but they consume weakness. Never show weakness. This is not advice. It is law. It is survival. It is the only way to remain untouchable in a world that is waiting for you to stumble. Think about Caesar, who pardoned his enemies and believed in their gratitude. His weakness became his death when Brutus drove the dagger into his heart. Think about kings who forgave rebels, only to face greater rebellion fueled by the same men they spared. Think about leaders who showed vulnerability in moments of crisis and lost their thrones, their armies, their nations, because when people sense weakness, they do not rally to protect it. They circle like wolves around a wounded animal, waiting for the final strike. Machiavelli's ruthless psychology teaches that strength is perception as much as reality, and the art of power lies in never letting others see cracks, never letting them smell fear, never letting them witness hesitation. Even when you are uncertain, you must project certainty. Even when you are afraid, you must project courage. Even when you are broken inside, you must appear unbreakable, because perception shapes reality, and reality shapes survival. People do not follow the weak, they do not obey the hesitant, they do not respect the vulnerable. They follow the strong, they obey the decisive, they respect the untouchable. This is why Machiavelli wrote that it is safer to be feared than loved, because love dies the moment weakness appears, but fear endures, and fear makes men loyal even when they despise you. Weakness invites betrayal, strength commands obedience. Weakness creates pity, but pity does not last. Strength creates fear, and fear lasts forever. And yet so many men fail to learn this, blinded by the illusion that being open, soft, and vulnerable will win them eternal loyalty, when in truth it only shortens the distance to their own destruction. Look around you even today. Politicians who stumble are devoured by rivals. Businessmen who show doubt are overtaken by competitors. Men who show emotional fragility in relationships lose respect. Leaders who hesitate in war lose their soldiers. The law is the same across centuries. Never show weakness, because the moment you do, you lose respect, and once respect is gone, power crumbles like sand. Machiavelli understood that the psychology of power is not about fairness, it is about survival, and survival belongs only to the strong, to those who appear invincible, to those who know that cruelty, decisiveness, and control preserve what mercy, softness, and weakness destroy. Machiavelli will tell you that showing weakness makes you simply a flaw, that it earns you compassion, that it builds connection. It is a signal that tells others the door is open, a truth so dark and so brutal will be soft, that most men refuse to face it. Weakness does not invite compassion. Once people see that signal, they will exploit it without hesitation. It builds opportunity, because human beings are not naturally loyal. Weakness does not protect you. They are naturally opportunistic. It destroys you. and
they
history bleeds
strength
with the names of rulers,
and they betray
kings,
when weakness
generals,
appears,
and leaders.
And this
who
is why
believed that
Machiavelli
mercy,
insisted
vulnerability,
that a ruler
and
must
fragility
act with decisive
would win them
cruelty,
loyalty,
rather than be
only to
undone
discover
by
that the
compassion,
world devours
because a
weakness
single
with hunger
moment of softness
and never forgives
can
it,
undo years
because
of
human
control.
nature is selfish.
Think of rulers who
opportunistic,
hesitated
and
in
ruthless.
punishing betrayal,
And the moment you show
what followed
weakness,
was never peace
you are
but
already
revolt,
preparing your
because
own
men
downfall.
do not fear what forgives
Machiavelli
them.
taught
They
that
fear
power
what
is not
destroys
maintained
them,
by
and
love
fear
or kindness,
is the foundation
but
of
by
stability.
strength, fear, and
Never
control.
show weakness,
And the
means
moment
never
you let
grant
people
others
believe
the
you can
belief
be
that you
bent,
can be
they will
conquered,
break you.
because once they
The
believe
moment
it,
you let them see
even
hesitation,
falsely,
the
they will
illusion
exploit
becomes
it.
real. The moment you
The
let
weak
them
are
sense
tested,
doubt,
pushed,
they will turn
betrayed,
against you, because
while
people
the
admire
strong are
strength.
respected.
They obey
obeyed,
strength.
and feared.
They fear
And
strength.
this law is as
but they
real in
consume
politics
weakness.
as it is in
Never
personal
show
life.
weakness. This
In
is not
relationships,
advice. It is
weakness
law.
appears
It
as
is survival.
neediness, as
It is the only
desperation,
way to
as
remain
the craving for
untouchable
validation,
in a world that
and
is
women,
waiting for you
like
to
men,
stumble.
lose respect
Think
for what
about
appears
Caesar,
weak.
who pardoned his
Attraction
enemies
dies
and
when
believed in their
weakness grows,
gratitude.
while
His weakness
strength,
became his
confidence,
death when
and
Brutus
controlled
drove the
dominance
dagger into
ignite
his
desire.
heart.
In
Think
business,
about kings who
weakness
forgave
appears
rebels,
as hesitation,
only to face
as lack
greater
of
rebellion
confidence,
fueled
as
by the same
indecision,
men they
and
spared.
competitors see it
Think about
instantly.
leaders who
They
showed
move like
vulnerability
sharks,
in moments
sensing
of
blood and
crisis
water,
and
tearing
lost their
apart
thrones,
those who waver
their
because
armies,
markets,
their
like
nations,
kingdoms, reward
because when
only the
people sense
decisive.
weakness, they
In
do not
leadership,
rally to protect
weakness
it.
appears as
They
the
circle
inability
like
to
wolves
act,
around a wounded
the
animal,
inability to punish
waiting for the
disobedience,
final strike.
the inability to command
Machiavelli's
with authority,
ruthless psychology
and once soldiers
teaches
or
that
followers
strength
sense
is
it,
perception as
loyalty
much as
collapses,
reality,
and
and
rebellion
the art of
becomes
power
inevitable.
lies in never letting others see
Machiavelli's
cracks,
ruthless psychology
never letting them smell
is that
fear,
weakness is never
never
forgiven.
letting them witness
Weakness
hesitation,
is never ignored.
Even when you are
Weakness is
uncertain,
always
you
punished.
must project certainty.
To never show weakness,
Even when
means
you are
to master
afraid,
the art
you
of
must
deception
project
when
courage.
necessary.
Even
To
when you
wear
are broken
strength like
inside,
armor,
you must
even when
appear
fear
unbreakable,
pounds in your chest,
because perception
because
shapes
appearances
reality,
matter more than
and
truth.
reality shapes survival.
A leader who is terrified,
People
but
do not
shows
follow
calm
the weak.
strength,
They do
will
not
be
obey the
obeyed.
hesitant.
A
They do
leader
not
who is
respect the
calm,
vulnerable,
but shows fear.
They
will
follow
be
the
abandoned,
strong,
because
they obey
people
the
follow
decisive,
not reality,
they respect
but
the
perception.
untouchable. This is why
Machiavelli
Machiavelli
wrote
said
that
rulers
it is
must
safer
learn
to be
not to
feared
be
than
good,
loved,
but to
because
appear
love
good when it
dies the
benefits
moment
them,
weakness appears,
and not to hesitate
but
when
fear
cruelty is
endures,
necessary, and fear
because
makes men
hesitation
loyal
itself
even when they
is
despise
weakness.
you.
You
Weakness
must strike
invites
before
betrayal.
others strike you.
Strength commands
Punish before
obedience.
betrayal spreads.
Weakness creates
Crush
pity,
rebellion before
but
it
pity
grows.
does not last.
Because delay
Strength
is mercy,
creates fear,
and mercy
and fear
is weakness.
lasts forever.
And yet the weak
cling
so
to
many
the
men
illusion
fail
that
to learn
kindness
this,
wins
hearts,
blinded
but
by the
hearts
illusion that
change,
being open,
loyalty
soft,
fades,
and
love
vulnerable
dies, and
will
only
win them
fear
eternal
remains
loyalty.
consistent.
When in truth
Never
it
show
only
weakness
shortens the
is not
distance
about
to their
never
own
feeling
destruction.
fear. It is
Look
about
around
never
you even
letting
today.
it be seen.
Politicians
never
who
surrendering
stumble
it to
are
the eyes
devoured
of
by
others,
rivals.
never handing them the
Businessmen
weapon
who
they
show
will use
doubt are
against you.
overtaken by competitors.
Weakness in private
Men who
is
show
natural.
emotional fragility in
Weakness
relationships
in public is fatal.
lose respect. Leaders
Machiavelli
who hesitate
understood
in
that
war
people admire
lose
what
their
is above
soldiers.
them and
The law
despise
is the
what is
same
beneath
across
them.
centuries.
And when you show
Never
weakness,
show
you
weakness,
place yourself beneath
because
them.
the moment you do,
But when you show
you
strength,
lose respect.
even ruthless,
and once
cold,
respect is
feared
gone,
strength,
power
you rise
crumbles
above
like
them.
sand.
And admiration,
Machiavelli
obedience,
understood
and
that
loyalty
the psychology
follow.
of power is not about
Mercy is
fairness.
forgotten.
It is about
Fear
survival.
is remembered.
And survival
Compassion
belongs
is
only
fleeting,
to the strong.
but cruelty,
to those who
well-timed,
appear invincible,
becomes immortal.
to those who know that
The lesson
cruelty,
is eternal.
decisiveness,
Never
and
show
control
weakness,
preserve
because
what
the world
mercy,
is not searching
softness,
for
and
who is
weakness
kind.
destroy.
It is searching for who is strong, and strength, even when hated, survives.
Machiavelli warned that the greatest danger to a ruler is not the strength of his enemies, but his own weakness. Because enemies are inevitable, but weakness is optional, and the man who refuses to hide his flaws, who exposes his doubts, who confesses his insecurities, is already conquered before the battle begins. For in the psychology of power, perception is more decisive than reality, and perception is built on what you allow others to see, so never let them see weakness, never let them sense hesitation, never let them taste fear, because once they sense it, they will act upon it without hesitation. History proves this with brutal clarity. Think of Richard II of England, who showed softness toward his nobles, believing mercy would win their gratitude, but his weakness only encouraged their defiance until his throne was taken. Or think of Louis XVI of France, who hesitated to crush rebellion, who tried to compromise and show humanity, and in the end he was dragged to the guillotine, his weakness rewarded not with loyalty, but with death. Contrast this with rulers like Cesare Borgia, who acted with ruthless decisiveness, who punished betrayal instantly and without mercy. And though he was hated, he was obeyed, feared, and remembered by Machiavelli himself as an example of effective cruelty. Because the psychology of people is simple, they despise those they can dominate, they respect those who dominate them. The same law applies in everyday life. The worker who shows fear to his boss is exploited. The man who shows weakness to his rival is humiliated. The lover who shows desperation to a woman is discarded, because weakness is never rewarded with kindness. It is punished with contempt. Never show weakness means never let them believe they own you. Never let them believe they can break you. Never let them believe you will forgive betrayal without consequence, because forgiveness without punishment is weakness, and weakness multiplies rebellion. Machiavelli's brilliance was to reveal that cruelty well used is not evil, it is stability, and mercy badly used is not noble, it is destruction. One act of cruelty saves countless lives by preventing rebellion, while countless acts of mercy waste countless lives by encouraging revolt, and so the wise man, whether ruler or ordinary, embraces the law. Better to be feared and secure than loved and destroyed. Love is fragile, fear is permanent. Mercy is forgotten, cruelty is remembered, weakness invites betrayal, strength enforces obedience. In relationships, never show weakness means never make her believe you are desperate. Never reveal that you need her more than she needs you, because once respect dies, desire dies, and once desire dies, the bond collapses. But when you show strength, when you show control, when you show that your presence is the prize, her respect deepens and her desire intensifies. In politics, never show weakness means never admit defeat before the battle is over, never confess fear in front of soldiers, never reveal hesitation to rivals, because the mask of strength is itself a weapon, and often the illusion of strength is more powerful than strength itself. Machiavelli's ruthless psychology teaches that survival belongs not to the noble, but to the feared, not to the merciful, but to the ruthless, not to the weak, but to those who never show weakness. And so this lesson is eternal. Wolves do not pity the sheep, serpents do not respect doves, and men do not follow the weak. They exploit them, they betray them, they destroy them. To endure, to survive, to rule, to be respected, you must never show weakness. In the end, Machiavelli's law is clear and merciless. Weakness destroys faster than enemies. Weakness kills before swords are drawn. Weakness poisons respect, corrupts loyalty, and invites betrayal. The man who shows weakness in public gives away his crown before the fight begins. The ruler who shows hesitation creates rebels with his own hands. The lover who shows desperation destroys attraction with his own breath. And the worker who bows in fear to every command will never escape exploitation. The truth is brutal but eternal. People do not admire weakness, they exploit it. People do not respect weakness, they despise it. People do not protect weakness, they attack it. Machiavelli insisted that the prince who wants to endure must choose fear over love, strength over softness, decisiveness over hesitation, because men are selfish, fickle, and dangerous, and only strength restrains them. Weakness encourages their ambition, their envy, their betrayal. Never show weakness means never allow others to think they can bend you, never allow them to believe they own you, never allow them to imagine you will forgive without consequence. To survive, you must wear strength like a second skin. You must project certainty even when uncertain, project courage even when afraid, project control even when chaos surrounds you, because perception shapes reality and reality shapes survival. Mercy may win you applause today, but cruelty preserves your throne tomorrow. Kindness may win temporary love, but strength secures lasting respect. Weakness may feel human, but it leads to destruction, while strength, even ruthless, even feared, leads to stability, safety, and survival. This is why the weak are forgotten while the strong are remembered. This is why the merciful are overthrown while the ruthless endure. This is why the soft are betrayed while the feared command loyalty. Machiavelli gave us a law that cannot be ignored. Never show weakness. If you want respect, hide your fears. If you want loyalty, punish betrayal. If you want survival, project strength. Because in this world wolves hunt sheep, serpents strike doves, and men devour the weak. Only the strong endure, only the feared survive. Only the ruthless are remembered. Never show weakness, because weakness is death and strength is life.